Hey y'all, and welcome to Be Find Joy, where we are unapologetically living a joyous life boldly. And today we are going to be talking about the reason why we are budgeting in the first place. So this is the second video in our Money Made Simple, the Budget Blueprint course. The ebook you can purchase at www.theboldjoyco.com. It follows along with every one of our videos that we'll be doing for this whole month. The goal is that by the end of this month, whenever you are watching this video, by the end of this course, you will be able to create a bold budget. And what is a bold budget? A bold budget is one that you believe in, one that is objective, one that you can leverage, and one that you can depend on. And having this bold budget will then help you to do the things that bring you joy. We're not saying that money is the cause of all happiness, but money allows you to do the things that make you happy. And so getting your finances in order is key when you are thinking about making sure that you are living this joyous life. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, hey, my name is Brittany. And I'm excited to be sharing my journey with y'all of how I'm living out a joyous life in the areas of faith, finances, friendships, freedom to do the things that I love and bring me joy and happiness, fitness, that is physical and mental fitness. Before we get started, if you are not subscribed to the Joy Fam, what are you doing? Click that subscribe button. We have fun over here. If you are not subscribed to our monthly newsletter, definitely go to the Bold Joy Co website. It's a monthly newsletter where we talk about one of those pillars of joy, and there's fun activities, challenges, and things that go on in that newsletter that you get once a month. And the best part about it is that it is free. If this is your first time watching one of the videos in this series, the video right before this one was all around resetting your budget. So reflecting, envisioning, strategizing, executing, and tracking your progress. And all of that gets us in the mindset to help us to create this bold budget. Activity number 2, the things that we're going to be talking about today, is all around understanding why you want to budget. And the importance of that realization is because that is literally what's going to motivate you to keep going. Budgeting isn't always fun. To me, it's fun because I love it. But sometimes budgeting, people can be like, I'm not trying to do it every week. I'm not trying to do it every month. I'm not seeing a lot of progress, X, Y, and Z. So there's a lot of reasons why people start budgeting and they stop. And I think a big part of the reason why people continue with their budget is because that they have identified what their reason is for creating the budget. What is that why that's going to keep you going? So I'm going to kind of talk a couple of minutes about that, and then we're going to do a couple activities to get us to create our own budget why. And I truly believe that getting these pieces together, so resetting your mindset, creating your bold why, understanding the different components of budgeting, creates the foundational knowledge that will then help you be successful as you create your budget and for you to be consistent in doing it. So your why is the driving force behind your budget. It's what keeps you motivated. Like I just said, when you're tempted to overspend, when you want to stop, when you when you have your friends that are saying like, let's go out, let's do X, Y, and Z, knowing that you should keep your behind home. When you want to stray away from your plan for your money and your budget, this why is going to keep you rooted. It also ties you down to something meaningful, right? There is something about having a reason why you do something that keeps you going, right? If you know that there is an end goal of you being able to do something, you're going to keep at it, right? So for example, I'll take my own journey of when I even started budgeting. So when I got married in 2016, my husband and I, we got together, we combined our finances, and, we then realized, crap, between the two of us, we have some debt. For me, it was my student loans. My husband had some student loans as well. Then we got married. We moved into our house. We did some other things. We had some credit card debt, and it was becoming where the amount of money that we were putting to debt every month was just crazy. I think we were putting like thousands of dollars towards our debt, and that money could have been going to reaching our goals. So the reason why, and another reason, when we first got together, it was like trying to keep myself organized so that way I was paying my bills on time, I wasn't missing things. That was a lot. And so the main reason why I started budgeting was to get myself organized, but the biggest reason was because I wanted to pay off debt. And paying off debt would then allow me to do the other things that I wanted to do with my life, to travel, to take advantage of different opportunities and experiences. And so that was the key reason. That was my why of why I even started budgeting in the first place, because I realized how much money we were spending on one area of our budget, which was paying off debt, and I wanted to bring that down. And we started with $175,000 worth of debt. Yes, I know that sounds a lot, and most of it was our student loans. And throughout the years, we've been paying it off. Now, over the years, we've gained some, we paid some, like it has fluctuated, but at the heart of it, that is what has kept me motivated, is because I have seen what it's like to stick to a budget and how sticking to a budget can then help me reach my goals to paying off debt, creating a savings plan, creating savings goals. All of those things are really important for me as I started my why. So that gives you just one example of, when I started budgeting from the very beginning, what was my motivator. Now I want us to do an activity together. By the end of this video, we're going to create our why statement, but let's do an activity together. So what I need you to do, if you definitely go out and get this workbook if you don't have it. If not, just get a piece of paper or in your phone or whatever. And I want you to think about 3 of your financial goals. What would make you feel proud, secure, or joyful in those goals? So for me, we're going to do it together. So what are my financial goals? And let's just do goals for 2025, right? Because I think sometimes we can think so far ahead of ourselves and into the future that it becomes a little bit overwhelming and it just becomes like a lot. So let's think about, for this year, what are 3 of my goals? My first goal is that debt is always going to be at the top, because we still have debt. We've gained some debt over time. Yeah. So paying off debt, but it's not just like pay off debt. That's pretty generic. Like, I want to pay off $10,000 worth of debt this year. All right. My second goal is that I want to put $5,000 towards an emergency fund, because over time, that emergency fund has been depleted. And it's like every time I go to build it back up, something happens. A tree fell. We need a new driveway, or like a car needs to be fixed. So $5,000 towards an emergency fund is another one of my goals. And then the last financial goal is that I want to budget consistently. And I'll tell you the reason why that is a goal for me. All right, and I put per paycheck. I guess I can move you over just a little bit. All right, so we wrote down our 3 goals. I hope you wrote down your 3 goals. Put your goals in the comments. I would love to know what your goals are for this year. So now it's important to say, why are these goals important to me, right? So we have the goal, but why is this a goal for you for this year? And why, if you complete this goal, or if you reach this goal, how will it bring you joy? So for me, paying off $10,000 worth of debt, it's important to me because it will free up money to then go towards things that bring me joy, which is traveling, doing activities with my family, being able to, buy things that we need. I'm able to do that now, but like not have to be so stringent with my money. So free up money to then do things that bring me joy. All right, so $5,000 towards an emergency fund. Why is that important to me? Because it's always good to have a rainy day fund, because then you don't have to actually dip into your everyday budget, right? So if our car needs repaired, I don't have to figure out where this money is going to come from, because I already have a separate bucket for these rainy day, for these expenses that I didn't plan for. So it's mainly for like a safety net for our budget. And why will that bring me joy? Because then I won't have to dip into my everyday budget, which I know. All right. And then why is it important to budget consistently in every paycheck? For me, I know the way my brain works, and the system that works for me is that I'm able to reach my financial goals if I am budgeting on a consistent basis, and that's every paycheck. And so it's important to me because I need to budget to help reach my goals financially, and in turn that will bring me joy. Like, there is no greater feeling of reaching a goal, especially a financial one that you have set. I remember I wanted to pay for our family to go on a vacation and have the money saved up throughout the year. And when we were able to go, we went to Canada. My husband and I took our anniversary trip to Canada like 3-4 years ago, and we were able to pay for it and not have to put it on a credit card, not have to take out any additional money. Like, I had put money aside over, I don't know, a 6-month span. And knowing that we were able to go, and our hotel, our food, our excursions, like all of those things were paid for with saved money that I worked every month to accrue, that was the best feeling. And so that's where the joy comes in. The joy is knowing that you put in that hard work to get towards this goal that you have set for yourself. So, what are your reasonings for why you create that goal? Why is that important to you? And then how are those goals going to give you the joy that you want in your life? All right, so now that we've identified what our goal, what our three, and you might have more than three, but what our top three goals for this year, it's time for us to think about what is going to be our bold why statement, right? This is the statement that we're going to be coming back on the days that we don't feel like budgeting, on the days that you don't feel like putting extra money aside because you want to do X, Y, and Z, on the days that you want to overspend, on the days where you are just fed up and stressed out. And know that if this is your first time on a budgeting journey, you will have moments where you just are like, I'm done and I'm over it. But this is the why that will bring you back to sticking with it. And so the instructions are: achieving a goal is always easier when you have clearly identified the reason why you were setting the goal in the first place. In the space below, explain why you want to create a bold budget. So for me, if I'm thinking about my goals, if I'm thinking about why they're important to me, I want to create, I'm going to say this first until I write it down because we're going to brainstorm it out together. So what I'm thinking is, I want to create this bold budget because I know budgeting consistently will allow me to reach my financial goals, which will free, which is to pay off debt and put money to, now this is long, so I'm gonna have to like reframe it, but pay off debt, put money, so I guess pay off to reach my debt and savings goals, which will then give me the money to do the things that bring me joy. Does that make sense? Now, will I remember what I just said? No. So maybe I should have started writing it down. So as I'm writing this down and kind of talking through it, I want you to think about what is going to be your statement for your bold why. So I am creating a bold budget because I know that when I budget consistently, comma, I am able to reach my debt and savings goals, which in turn allows me to put my money towards I don't like the word things, but that's like the best. I can't think of another word but towards things that bring me and my family joy. One example of this is like I want my boys to be in sports or music. So swimming lessons, for example, is like $150 a month. And yes, can we move things around? Yeah, yes, to make it work. But I have 2 kids, so like I want both of them to be in things, or I want my son to get drum lessons, or I want to be able to do activities over at summer camp, for example. Like summer camp's expensive, and so down the line, because right now I do mom camp in the summer and we have a great time. But anyway, all of those things, like that stuff brings me joy. I want to do a family vacation every year. And so being able to budget, being able to pay off the debt, being able to put money towards my savings goals, emergency fund, sinking funds, all of those things will free up that money to then allow me to do the things that bring me joy. And so I want you to really sit down and think about for yourself, like, what is going to be my statement of why you are creating this budget? And not only am I going to have you write it here, but I want you to write it on an index card, a sticky note, a piece of paper, and put it up somewhere where you can see it. Because in those moments where you're not feeling it, you can look up at that sticky note, at that card, at that picture, and say, okay, I forget, let me bring it back in, let me reel it back in, let me remind myself why I am doing this, and that will hopefully get you back on course. And I will say that it happens, right? I'll give you a prime example. It just happens to me. Like I was budgeting, then stopped budgeting, and then everything kind of like went a little haywire. And I've gotten back into it, and now I feel like I'm getting consistent. But what's my why? That's what's bringing me back. And that's why we are using this week of this course to set the foundation for you to have a better understanding of your budget mindset and your reason why, because that will then help you as you create your budget, but also to stick with your budget. And that's going to be important. That consistency is key, and having me there to cheering you on and you there to cheer me on. We're gonna do this together. So we created our bold why, which is awesome. I'm so excited. Put down below in the comments what your bold why, if you feel comfortable. If you don't, like, put your goals. But I would love to have interaction within these videos, and so I can be there cheering you on along the way. The next video that we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about your budget type. So there are many different ways that people can budget, and so it's important for you to understand based on your own personality, based on your financial situation. There's some budgets that's going to work better for you, and so we're going to talk about what budgets work best for you, and then you can identify which one will be in your budgeting system. This course, you'll create the foundation of creating a budget, but then in the system, you'll work it out whichever way works best for you. So, y'all, that is the end of this Money Made Simple, the Budget Blueprint episode all around creating your bold why. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and comment. Subscribe to the Joy Fam. We have fun over here. Subscribe to the Bold Joy Co., where we literally give you resources and tools and activities to help you on your joy journey. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. See ya. Bye-bye.